2 and 3. Brian Robson, the captain, and David Platt in midfield, number 7 and number 8. And Peter Beardsley gets the vote at number 9 to play up alongside Gary Lineker, and obviously an attacking role too for number 11, John Barnes. The Republic of Ireland also picked a predictable team. Dennis Irwin preferred at right back to Chris Morris. Steve Staunton at left back in 3. The central defenders David O'Leary and Kevin Moran, captain in the absence of Mick McCarthy. The main men in midfield, Andy Townsend in 6, Ray Houghton in 8 and Kevin Sheedy in 11, with Paul McGrath somewhere in there too perhaps. And up front, Niall Quinn, the giant number 9, and John Aldridge, now playing in Spain, wearing number 10. On the substitutes bench for England, the 19-year-old Manchester United forward Lee Sharp gets a vote, as does Quicksilver Ian Wright from Crystal Palace, and his clubmate Jeff Thomas, number 14, also, like Sharp, pulls on the full England shirt for the first time. As for the Republic of Ireland, number 12 there, Tony Cascarino, who scored the goal in Dublin that brought the score back to 1-1 when the teams met in November. Well, they're about to meet again, and before they kick off, a quick word from Trevor Brooking.
Well, a sort of game that players don't need motivation for. Electric atmosphere. Both know how important it is to perhaps get the win, because whoever could get the victory knows they're in a very strong position then to go to Sweden next year. Every thing set up, hopefully, for an exciting game.
The referee is from Switzerland, Roethlisberger, who took charge of England versus Egypt in the World Cup in Cagliari. And of course that was also a ground or a venue where these two teams met before, when it was a 1-1 draw, as it was in Dublin. And here's Niall Quinn at Wembley. Ireland playing from the right in green shirts and white shorts in this critical European Championship qualifying match. Steve Staunton to take the throw. Quinn is going to be dangerous in the air. That was Brian Robson, and Paul McGrath starts off in midfield for Ireland. But at the back of the midfield, I would think, just in front of the back four. Barnes is on the right to begin with here. This is Tony Adams. It'll be Staunton with the throw for Ireland. Here's McGrath. And that was Barnes, who's certainly opened up on the right-hand side of the England attack, Trevor Brooking.
Yeah, 1 or 2 tactical formations. John Barnes is on the right-hand side, playing against his old clubmate, really, Steve Staunton now. And at the back for England, Mark Wright is sweeping. Des Walker is going to pick up John Aldridge, and Tony Adams will be looking after the dangerous aerial strength of Niall Quinn.
That was Beardsley to Barnes. Lineker's in the middle, being joined now by Platt. Pearce is forward as well. And was it out? No, obviously not. Here's Pearce. Good cross by Barnes. Robson looking for Platt. Robson again. And Irwin for Ireland. Good attack by England. Barnes really tight to the line, cut it back well.
It looked for a moment as if he'd lost the opportunity. Thought he would cross it earlier, and then looked as if it was going out of play, but somehow or other he got it back, and nearly a good opportunity to score in the opening minute or two.
Stuart Pearce was well forward in that attack from left back. And with this system, of course, that's the idea for the fullbacks to link up whenever they can. Here's the other one, Lee Dixon. And that's come off Staunton for an England throw. By far the best playing conditions in which these two sides have met in the Jack Charlton era. This is Dixon. There was a gale in Dublin, there was thunder and lightning in Sardinia, but tonight it's fairly benign, the weather at Wembley, and the playing surface should suit England if they can get the ball down and move it about. Forward goes Tony Adams for this throw from Dixon, his Arsenal colleague. Dixon again. Comes off Kevin Sheedy, not handball, says the referee. And the long ball out by Ireland is met by a combination of Walker and Mark Wright. Now Beardsley. Lineker starts a run. Barnes, Platt. Platt was stopped by McGrath. This is Irwin for Ireland. That's the long ball hoisted forward, of which no doubt we shall see a lot more. No reason why Jack Charlton should change tactics at this stage. Here's McGrath. Houghton looks for Andy Townsend. And David Platt back in defence now. And Robson also. And here's David Seaman, who got the vote over Chris Woods. The one selection that Graham Taylor did announce in time for the morning papers. Here's Pearce. McGrath got Houghton just inside him. John Aldridge furthest forward, being joined now by Townsend. Aldridge. Walker. Good play, Barnes. Robson linking up, and Beardsley, and Lineker was trying to stay onside.
Paul McGrath quite happy to push forward there, which I think sensible tactics from Jack Charlton. He's not just come here to keep it very tight and hope to get the low-scoring draw. If the opportunity is there, he's going to ask his midfield men to get forward.
Two countries here with fine recent records. England beaten only twice in their last 30 matches, and the Republic of Ireland only one defeat in their last 22. That was in the World Cup quarter-final against Italy. And England's defeats in recent memory against Italy in the third-place match, of course, and here against Uruguay just before the World Cup. But otherwise, these two teams have had great success in recent seasons. Barnes. And he's certainly operating on the right wing so far. Pearce, in fact, has got the freedom of the left, and that was Lineker. Certainly fouled. David O'Leary picks him up. I think Barnes has just been given freedom, really, to go where he feels he might do damage. Here he is now on the left. And that's the sort of role he should revel in. Beardsley. This is Walker. Pearce. And again, David Platt well forward, David O'Leary covering. Wembley received 3 times the amount of applications for tickets that they could cope with for this game. Over £2 million is said to have been returned to people who were unlucky. Pearce with the throw. There's Barnes, there's Lineker. Oh, and Staunton away from David Platt, who was just about to make contact when the Liverpool fullback hooked the ball out. Very close. Good flick on by Barnes, and Lineker was in there too, but Platt came close to putting that over the line. Throw in by Dixon here. Two Irishmen going for the same ball. Then Sheedy, number 11, collides with Dixon, who gets the ball back. Barnes. Still Barnes. Lineker's in there. Pearce is just behind him. Irwin for Ireland. Long throw, propelled by Stuart Pearce. Barnes gets the flick on here, a good one. Lineker's close, but here comes Platt, and there's Staunton. Nice little touch that by John Aldridge. And here comes Andy Townsend. Houghton's up there too, but Townsend already making some strong runs from midfield, as Platt indeed is doing for England. That's going to be a good comparison tonight. They both work well from one penalty area to the other. Here's Adams. Walker. Looking for Lineker, but not finding him. Do you see this as being a tactical battle, Trevor?
Well, I think, you know, the Republic are marking down at the back as well. David O'Leary primarily picking up Gary Lineker and Kevin Moore trying to pick up Peter Beardsley. He likes to drop deep, Beardsley, and rotate with David Platt, who then pushes forward from midfield. And it'll be important for Paul McGrath to keep an eye on David Platt getting into the penalty area.
That was cleared, or half cleared, by O'Leary. Barnes. Robson's in the penalty area this time for England. The cross was blocked by Irwin, but Pearce can pick up the throw. Robson stays in there. Header out by Staunton, only as far as Dixon to shoot. Oh, it's got in! Deflection! Staunton, I think. Dixon's had the shot. And Bonner had no chance. Steve Staunton deflected it. And Lee Dixon's shot puts England into the lead via the deflection. And what a start for England here. And Stuart Pearce provides the cross. He was left unmarked at the throw-in. Staunton heads the ball out. Lee Dixon shoots. It hits Staunton and goes in the near post. 1-0 to England.
Terrible bad luck for Steve Staunton. It was a floated cross by Stuart Pearce, and his header, his original defensive header, wasn't that good. It fell to Lee Dixon, who a bit speculative with his shot, didn't catch it great, and completely wrong-footed though Pat Bonner when it took a vicious deflection off Staunton. And now the Republic have got to try and just draw breath, not panic, but they didn't want to go down so early in the game.
10 minutes gone, and poor Steve Staunton puts Jack Charlton's team behind in the most unfortunate of circumstances, but difficult to blame him really. The shot struck him, and it means that England have a wonderful platform on which to build. But then on the other hand, so they did in Cagliari when they took the lead earlier through Lineker, and Ireland got back at them. They led in Dublin and Ireland came back again, so it's too early to talk about what that goal might mean. But 10 minutes gone, and Dixon, who's never scored for England before tonight, may well claim the credit for that. Quinn's in there. And the man with the headband is Kevin Moran. Andy Townsend. Sheedy. Staunton now trying to do something about it at the other end. Aiming for Niall Quinn. This is McGrath. And it's Staunton. And it's Mark Wright, who's playing with a protective plaster on his broken wrist. Forward by Robson, lovely little ball with his left foot. Gets it back from Lineker, but Houghton got to him the second time. Townsend. And here's Platt with Barnes inside him. O'Leary covering. Some sad Irish faces around just at the moment after that 10th minute shock. And this is how it happened from the other angle. Dixon hits it with his right foot, and I'm sure Bonner would have had it, but Staunton's deflection gave him no chance at all and diverted the path of the ball completely. The little bit of luck that you sometimes need seems to have gone the way of England in the opening period here. Staunton with the throw. Both the fullbacks involved in the goal. Long ball by Robson. And this is David O'Leary for Ireland. Dixon's header misdirected. Here's Quinn. Aldridge. McGrath. Houghton's made a forward, but he's onside. Aldridge and Quinn waiting in the centre corner. Now Ireland will send Moran forward and O'Leary. Kevin Sheedy, who can bend them in viciously with his left foot from the right-hand side. Moran's gone into the 6-yard box, but it's been played short to Houghton. Lifted in. Quinn is there, out by Mark Wright and away by Platt. Back in again by Staunton. The beauty of the England defensive system means that the two fullbacks have got licence to go into the attack as and when they feel able, and Pearce made the goal and Dixon struck the shot that caused it. It was quick thinking by Pearce when the throw-in was taken, because he got to the ball before an Ireland player had a chance to mark him. Barnes, Lineker, Beardsley, and still Platt's joined them in the centre now. This is Dixon again, and another effort from the Arsenal fullback. He's really enjoying this, Trevor.
Well, he's enjoying it. I don't think his teammates square across the middle enjoyed the shot, though. Probably got a bit carried away. Good play by Peter Beardsley, very aware to know Dixon was clear. And there you can see what 2-3 players across the face there, and from that range, from that distance, it's got to be a cracking shot or get another deflection to go in. I think the clip across the middle was a better bet.
If anybody's just tuned in, England lead by 1-0. Dixon's shot diverted by Staunton past his own goalkeeper on 10 minutes, giving Graham Taylor's team the lift-off they really wanted in this European Championship match. We've been playing a quarter of an hour now, and it's Moran with the free kick for Ireland. That's Quinn, this is Sheedy. Ray Houghton in a good position here. Heads it down to Paul McGrath. England were looking for an offside flag there. It looked to me as if Niall Quinn was standing there alone, but the deflection has taken the ball out for a corner.
I think the linesman did flag as well, and it's been given a corner now, but I think the offside flag went up.
Well, O'Leary and Moran are both in the 6-yard box this time. Oh, and Seaman's punched McGrath, and off the line, and Moran, and against the post. And Ireland don't know how they failed to equalise. David Seaman got lost really on the cross, and the Irish so close to making it 1-1. The corner here has the goalkeeper with his punch not really a good one. The player on the line is Peter Beardsley, and then Kevin Moran crashes his shot against the post. It was Beardsley who cleared from McGrath initially. And McGrath thought there that Ireland were right back in it.
Well, again, I suppose that little bit of luck going England's way, because it wasn't the best of punches by David Seaman, and Paul McGrath trying to pick his spot. Peter Beardsley almost got his feet stuck under him and just managed to edge it out, and then, much to David Seaman's relief, the rebound by Kevin Moran came back off the angle of the post.
Well, it's an exciting opening here, to be sure. Quinn is closing in. Seaman having to jump with him, and he'll be pleased to have made that catch, the Arsenal goalkeeper, because that was a jittery moment back there from the corner, to be sure. And he'll be pleased. Having seen Bonner beaten cruelly at the other end, Seaman will be pleased if he can get a few confident catches now. This is Mark Wright, wearing number 6.
The Republic have responded very well to that, going a goal down, they've come back and pushed forward, and England have been on the defensive since, and important stage of the game, but Ireland reacted very well.
And Peter Beardsley reacting well too, of course. That's why they put players on the post at corner kicks. Townsend, and now Beardsley's in the attack. Dixon also. And it was McGrath who'd gone back. Wembley pitch is in very good condition. It's a pity about the paper blowing around on it in that half of the field, which makes it look rather untidy, but nothing untidy about the way the match has started. A notable incident already in both penalty areas, and promise perhaps of a better game than when these two teams have met before, when it's been so rigorous and by and large disappointing. Here's Barnes. Platt, good chest control. Beardsley, Lineker's closing here, and Packie Bonner came, and David O'Leary, I think it was, got in front of him to clear anyway. Don't think he could have heard the goalkeeper shout there, O'Leary. He wasn't taking any chances.
I don't think he could afford to, because Gary Lineker was coming behind him, and I wouldn't like to say whether Pat Bonner there or Gary Lineker would have got to the ball. So David O'Leary, good defended. Yes,
experienced fellow, isn't he? And playing partly tonight because Mick McCarthy, who's normally in the centre of defence, is injured. Forward by Staunton. The header on was by Niall Quinn. Having a fine season is Niall Quinn with Manchester City.
It's almost impossible to beat in the air. What England must do is watch for the knockdowns and make sure they stay with the runners.
Well, they say luck evens itself out in football. People keep talking about the goal that Germany scored against England in the World Cup semi-final when poor Paul Parker deflected the ball over Shilton. Oh, tonight the deflection has gone England's way, and it's that goal which gives them the edge here in the first half. With 20 minutes gone, it's England 1, Republic of Ireland 0. On by Barnes, and away by O'Leary. Quinn for Ireland. Supporting him from midfield was Andy Townsend. Played by Dixon. Touched by Lineker. That was good football. Brian Robson's well forward again. And it's Staunton who hoops it up to Quinn. Aldridge support here. Quinn just tricks Mark Wright. In fact, he left him sprawling. This is Houghton, and Quinn still in there, right again this time. Platt, Sheedy, and Seaman coming, and Wright, in fact, got to it first. Well, both defences look a little edgy when pressed. Townsend. McGrath plays it in. Wright heads it up in the air and tries again. That found Platt off Staunton. And Quinn gets a header in, and it's away by Des Walker, but England are not finding defending easy just at present. And haven't really cleared their lines very well there. And there's nobody like the Irish to keep your pen back in there if you don't clear it. Here's Houghton, Irwin. And Platt now has got a little bit of space, but Moran to meet Barnes. Sheedy. Quinn. Away by Wright, forward by McGrath. Quinn's in there again, the up and under. Des Walker. McGrath, Sheedy. Mark Wright. And still Ireland come at them. Townsend's cross. And England are just not getting the ball away. Staunton. Townsend. In it goes again towards Quinn. It's going to be a real slog in there for England's defenders. Here comes Irwin, and now McGrath. And this is typical pressure football by Jack Charlton's team. Houghton's cross. Niall Quinn's coming in. Adams' header. Sheedy with the shot. Off Adams. Away by Wright. And panic beginning to spread back there. They just can't get the ball out. In again by Staunton. Up goes Quinn. And now it's O'Leary. Quinn's header once more. Houghton's there, and Brian Robson with probably the best pass out of defence we've seen, but that wasn't a good one by Platt. Moran. And there's a player in an offside position here. The linesman must flag now. And I would think England would be very glad to get that 3 minutes over, Trevor.
Well, the last 2 minutes, there must have been, what, 15, 20 crosses. Big Jack must be looking there thinking, how didn't we get one of those with a scoring opportunity? But they compete very well, and that's the man causing the problem. I mean, what's 6'4" or 5", and as I say, you can't challenge him. It's impossible to beat, and this is knockdowns. And at the moment, England are just hooking it a bit aimlessly clear and giving the possession back to Ireland. At the moment, they've got to try and sort of settle down at the back and not give the ball away because the pressure comes straight back on them.
It's not pretty, but it's certainly effective, as we've seen before. Ireland play the same way every time they go on the pitch, and with their record, only 60 defeats in 47 games under Jack Charlton, you really can't question how successful they've been. You can say it's not pleasing to the eye if you want, but that's not always the issue these days. Anyway, England have got time to draw breath. And the manager is taking an elevated view in this first half. Quite appropriate, I suppose, since the ball seems to be in the air for an awful lot of the time. This is Barnes. The Ireland supporters making themselves heard now after a good 5 minutes for their team. John Aldridge was bustled over there. Free kick given. Just over 20 minutes left in the first half, and Ireland push O'Leary forward here for the free kick. Taken by Owen, headed out by Robson. Barnes, good ball. Peter Beardsley. Lineker trying to get up to his right, Barnes to his left. Lineker goes on, marked by Sheedy of all people. This is Barnes.
It was a good break, but the eventual shot was quite a long way out from John Barnes, and at that angle I think it's going to be something special to beat Pat Bonner, but at least a good flowing move from the England side.
It might be worth pointing out as well that in those 47 matches under Jack Charlton, Ireland have only, I think it's 3 times or 4 times had 2 goals scored against them in any one game. It's an extraordinary record. Never had 3 against them, by the way. And there's a foul by Paul McGrath, and that, I think, is going to be the yellow card for the Aston Villa player. It was a foul on the England captain by his former Manchester United colleague. And Paul McGrath here is the first man to be booked by the Swiss referee in this game. And that's the reason why.
Can't dispute that. There was no way he was going to get the ball, and quite rightly the yellow card.
The free kick is taken by Mark Wright. Pearce is up there too. Just get that absolutely right. Only 3 sides have managed to score 2 goals in a match against the Republic of Ireland in the 5-year spell that Jack Charlton has been in charge. The last team to do so was Spain in November 1988. They won 2-0, and that's Charlton's heaviest defeat as the Ireland manager. Here's Platt. Barnes. Forward by O'Leary, and there goes Niall Quinn. Offside flag was up there. Gary Lineker. Quinn. Aldridge in there. Townsend also now. There's Townsend again. Houghton. McGrath swings it in towards Niall Quinn, unmarked! A goal for Ireland! And big Niall Quinn couldn't really miss. The marking was shocking. I just don't know. Well, Jack Charlton's thrilled to bits, and I don't know what the England defence was doing. Niall Quinn must have thought it was his birthday in there. The Irish supporters celebrate, and they've come back at England yet again. You can't shake them off. The ball was swung in by Paul McGrath, and, well, Trevor Brooking, what about the marking?
Well, it's the classic mistake. Tony Adams, who's marking Niall Quinn, pushed up, trying to play the offside, and McGrath clipped it in. But he was onside when the ball was played, and Niall Quinn must have had so many options whether to head it, bring it down and put it in, but he calmly side-footed it home. And to be fair, I think Ireland do deserve to be level.
That's fair enough, and to give Niall Quinn full credit, he took it very calmly indeed. In a match of this importance, it's Barnes on to Beardsley. Good play by McGrath, who made the goal for Ireland. May look an easy chance, but you've got to put them away. And Niall there, who's having such a fine year since he's moved to Manchester City, he was so cool. 1-1. Adams is forward for the free kick. Quinn now's got to go back and defend. Barnes flick. England just can't get Ireland out of their system. They lost in Stuttgart. They drew in Sardinia when they led 1-0 England, and then Sheedy scored. In Dublin, Platt scored, and then Cascarino got Ireland back in it again. And now here at Wembley, Quinn equalises for Ireland in the first half, and it's all square again with Sheedy. Pearce. Lineker back to Barnes. Sheedy again. One of the Irish maxims is to get the ball back in the penalty area as quickly as they can when it's half cleared, and that was a classic example, the way McGrath knocked it straight back and caught England napping. Quarter of an hour left in the first half. It's 1 each. Irwin. Sheedy. Adams stretching a bit. Beardsley. Robson.
As Paul McGrath clips it in, I mean, you can see Niall Quinn 2 or 3 yards in front of Tony Adams, who, as I say, moved up for the offside. Perfect ball clipped in by Paul McGrath, though.
That one's been clipped in by Sheedy towards John Aldridge. Dixon stretching a bit. Oh, England looks so nervous back there now. That's Sheedy. Referee says no foul. Ireland appealed. Wasn't a good clearance from Mark Wright at all, but at the other end, Bonner on the edge of his area. It's fast and furious and quite exciting, actually, isn't it?
Well, I think England was slightly fortunate there. Mark Wright made a mistake and then lunged in a bit recklessly on Kevin Sheedy, and I think I'd be interested to have a look at the replay on that one.
Yes, Ireland thought they had a case, I must say, and Wright was a bit lucky. And here's Sheedy. Barnes now defending. Pearce. Well, Ireland do like to play the game in the other team's half, to use Jack Charlton's expression, and at the moment Ireland do look a bit like the home team. All the play is in the England half of the field. Robson, can he change it? Oh, given away again. That was Adams, I think. This is McGrath. Quinn to his right. Houghton. And he's beaten Adams, who's sprawling. Aldridge is on the near post. A poor cross, really. If he'd played that early to Aldridge, England were undermanned back there. Aldridge found the right position, but Houghton didn't find the right ball in.
England are giving the ball away terrible, particularly the back, the three central defenders. If you're playing a sweeper system, you want Dixon and Pearce. There you see that right incident, and Sheedy got the first touch and he got clattered. And I've seen him given before, but it's those England three central defenders who at the moment aren't confident bringing the ball out, and are giving the ball to the Irish, and then they counter-attack.
They've had a very uneasy 5 or 10 minutes back there, especially Wright and Adams. They really look shaky. And Quinn is continually pressing up on them. Here's Dixon. Aldridge now makes a run across. This is Barnes. Adams with a chance to come forward now. Barnes. But look how quickly it comes back out that island half. England could do with somebody holding it up for a while, but there's Barnes. Houghton's gone back to mark him. 3 waiting in the centre for the cross, which didn't come. Pearce. Robson. Lee Dixon's now gone across into the inside left position. This is Pearce. Moran's header out. Robson's flicked back in. Platt's in there, and here comes Robson. Bonner to meet him. Bonner tonight, Pat Bonner from Celtic, becomes the most capped goalkeeper in Ireland's history. His 48th appearance, passing the record of Alan Kelly, the former Preston keeper. Ten minutes left in the first half. England 1, Republic of Ireland 1. For anybody who's just turned on the set, just joined us, Staunton deflected Dixon's shot in after 10 minutes to give England the lead. Quinn equalised after 28 minutes for Ireland. Here's Dixon. There's Staunton. The ball pumped forward again. McGrath feeding on the flick from Quinn. And Robson got a half a tackle in and Pearce finished it off.
Paul McGrath has a great first half. There he is jogging back. Apart from setting up the goal, he's picking up all the loose bits in the midfield area and giving Irish the possession. And sometimes, I mean, he plays most of his career at the back, and to see him in this midfield and see him covering the ground he is quite a revelation.
Here's Barnes. And the referee's given a corner there, which Beardsley goes across to take. And presumably Barnes will be looking for the flick on again here if it goes near post. They've brought the 2 tall men up from the back, Adams and Mark Wright. Brian Robson standing just behind them. And that is Brian Robson, and that's Gary Lineker in there.
First half chance Gary Lineker has had this evening. England been so busy helping out defensively, they've not given him that much support, and first glimmer he's had on goal.
Up go. What a good header by Niall Quinn. That was superb. He beat both men in the air there. Houghton's gone inside. Mark Wright's header. Staunton. McGrath. Oh, and here's Sheedy with a chance for Ireland. Fell to his right foot, not his stronger, but wouldn't quite come down for him anyway. Barnes. And the persistence of the Irish refusing to let England settle, Trevor.
You just see what Kevin Sheedy thought of that chance, but it did go on his right foot and it did bounce up. But there's the man who's got the problems at the moment, probably quite happy to see the scoreline stay as it is till half-time, so as he can sort 1 or 2 things out, because at the moment they are giving the ball away far too much.
Well, he's got 7 minutes to wait, and there is some sorting out to do back there. About that, there is no doubt whatever. And Ireland are revelling in this opportunity to make England look uncomfortable again. There was a superb flick just now by Niall Quinn, just showing his timing in the air. There he is again. And he's forced a corner to Ireland. And Sheedy has gone across to take this. O'Leary is on the near post. Moran and Quinn waiting to come in from just behind him here. Barnes heads out as far as McGrath. Houghton, a couple of ricochets. David Platt with a chance to release Beardsley maybe, but Robson was the player he aimed for. Didn't reach him. Swung in early again. Quinn's there. Here comes Aldridge, and goodness me, they are getting some freedom in that penalty area. Walker to Platt. Now Lineker. Barnes coming in from the far side. It struck Kevin Moran. This is Beardsley. Looking for Lineker. Moran's header this time. Robson. Once more Beardsley. Staunton in the way. McGrath. There's 5 minutes left in the first half at Wembley. It's England 1, Republic of Ireland 1 in the European Championship qualifier. And the Republic continue to nag away at England's nerves. And there continued support coming in from the many Irish people who are here tonight. Officially 8,000 tickets, but I think there are more in the stadium. Here's Houghton. And a cross goes right. The irony of this really is that Graham Taylor, as a club manager, was always a believer in the big tall centre forward in his Watford days and beyond. And here we've got a big tall centre forward playing on the other side, who's making life so uneasy for the England defence. Every time Ireland get the ball in any area of the field, it seems, Niall Quinn is the obvious target, and he's making a rattling good job of it so far tonight too. There he is again. Mark Wright trying to climb over him this time. Can still Ireland get the ball? And the throw. Barnes, Irwin. England just can't get out. McGrath pins them back in. Well, there's no question that this is the hardest test that England have had since Graham Taylor took over. Header forward by Moran. Pearce, Lineker. And two England players really slipped there as they ran into trouble, and that's an offside against John Aldridge. The Irish pattern is so well defined, Trevor. They all know exactly what to do, don't they?
And they look a yard or two quicker this evening. That's the thing that struck me. When the ball's just been dropping down, there's always an Irish leg that's getting there first. They just look that yard or two fresher, and the appetite looks that little bit more. It's a strange England performance, almost as if the goal seems to have rocked them back and brought Ireland to life.
Yeah, I think Jack Charlton's uncomplicated methods, something that the players all believe in, and the opposition are left to wonder exactly how you play against it. Well, England have had 3 or 4 attempts. How are they going to sort this one out? Barnes. Too high for Beardsley, but Sheedy finds Aldridge for Ireland. And good running from the midfield, Ray Houghton. Oh, and he's going to go on a return here. Houghton, and Platt's the man going back with him. Good save by Seaman. Good advance off the line. Houghton running from midfield beyond the England back four. Dixon. Oh, good ball. That was Lineker to Pearce. And that was Robson, number 7. Rough and ready stuff, but they don't stand on ceremony here. It means that England do have a free kick in a good position. Beardsley to take it. And McGrath comes in behind Barnes. And England keeps 7 men forward. Dixon to hoist the ball in Irish style. Up goes Barnes. Oh, that was a good effort. It was Pearce actually who had the acrobatic shot. Here's the other fullback, Dixon. Pearce stays forward on the far side. Robson trying to shake them off, but there's always another green shirt, it would seem. This is Ray Houghton. Going to be Lee Dixon with the throw. We're going to stoppage time at the end of the first half here. Barnes with his arm up. Staunton with the header. Adams tries to get a foot to it. And the referee blows the whistle for the end of a hectic first half. It seemed to go by in a flash. England had a marvellous opening in the sense that Staunton's deflection gave them the lead after 10 minutes. But Ireland's sheer grit and resilience came to the fore again. And after 28 minutes, big Niall Quinn, a perpetual thorn in England's side, scored the equaliser, and then England went through what I can only say, Trevor, was a very poor period.
Well, I think the way Ireland play into Quinn, I think the 3 centre-backs, as it's turned out in the first 45 minutes, have been a bit of a waste of time, because there's no point in having a sweeper because they've been so close together. I'd actually take one of the centre-backs off and bring in an extra midfield player, Jeff Thomas or Lee Sharp, because we're not winning possession in the midfield, England, and so I think perhaps that's one of the options Graham Taylor might consider.
So at half-time then, as we return to Desmond and Terry and Jimmy, the score at Wembley is England 1, Republic of Ireland 1.
Is
Republic of Ireland 1.
Is England 1, Republic of Ireland 1. I'm sure you've been with us on BBC One. And the second half coming up in just a moment or two. Meantime, we'll give you a little bit of music from the band.
Well, as the teams come back out of the dressing room for the second half, I think we're going to see that Graham Taylor has made a tactical change, because we've had information from down there that Tony Adams is going to be taken off and Lee Sharp of Manchester United is going to come on. So as we await confirmation that Lee Sharp does go through the picture there, it looks as though that's what's happened, in which case, Trevor Brooking, you read it as quick as anybody in the stadium, I would think. That was definitely what you thought ought to happen.
Well, purely because there's no point in playing the sweeper the way the Irish were pressurising the English defence. The sweeper, which in that half was Mark Wright, was really taken out of the game. So put the extra man into the midfield, whether it be Jeff Thomas or Lee Sharp. Lee Sharp, who's in such superb form. There he is chatting to Brian Robson, who's trying to settle him down and probably saying, just go out and show him, do what you've been doing all season for Manchester United. What an opportunity for the youngster.
And what a week for him too. He was voted the PFA Young Player of the Year on Sunday night. On Monday he was promoted from the under-21 squad, which he thought he was part of, to the full England squad. Then he was named on the substitutes bench when Graham Taylor finalised his selection this morning. And now, at half-time in this vital game, he comes on at the age of 19 with quite a responsibility, because England will be looking to him, as you said, to provide some width and to change the pattern of the game, because Tony Adams is off. We're back to a normal back four, if I can call it that, of Wright and Walker in the middle. And as for Ireland, well, they'll probably do exactly as they've been doing, I would imagine. The goal that Niall Quinn scored, by the way, the first that England have conceded here in a qualifying match of any sort since Romania scored here in a World Cup tie in 1985. And the first in the European Championship qualifier for longer than that. But it's been scored and it's changed the face of the game, and it's given England a lot to prove in the second half. And it's going to be a free kick to be taken by John Barnes. Now Mark Wright's in the thick of that, so is Stuart Pearce. And the deflection by Sheedy, whether he was 10 yards away when that kick was taken, whether it was his hand, it's up to the referee to sort out. I wouldn't have thought he was 10 yards actually when Barnes first took the kick, so it should be retaken really. And that was easy for Bonner. Wright beats Quinn this time. That could be a good sign for England. This is Walker. O'Leary and Lineker. Lineker and O'Leary again, as the news of the substitution is greeted quite enthusiastically by the Wembley crowd. 80,000 all-seater stadium now, of course, Wembley. And there's the lad who's got his chance to set the place alight if he gets the service. McGrath forward for Ireland. That's John Aldridge with Des Walker, and that's a foul. Now David O'Leary goes into the centre to join Niall Quinn. Pearce who got in the way of Sheedy's kick. Sheedy again. Townsend, miscontrolled it. Here's Beardsley. Now Lineker's off down the inside right channel. This is John Barnes at outside right, and he's got Platt forward as well. But Barnes seemed to run into Staunton. The referee decides it was a foul.
Quite pleased to get the free kick there, John Barnes, because it hadn't run away from him.
Absolutely. This is Dixon. Barnes again. Down the line is Brian Robson now, number 7, with England pushing players forward. Kevin Sheedy won the ball and then gave it away. David Platt couldn't seem to get hold of it at all. Sharp got his first touch. This is Pearce, and here's Sharp again, but not for long. Scrapping it out with another Manchester United player, Dennis Irwin. The players on this pitch know each other so well. That's probably what's made the England-Ireland games the way they are, really. And this is Mark Wright. Moran. It's Wright again. And young Sharp wasn't far off it.
Good to see Mark Wright having the confidence now as well to bring the ball out of defence on a couple of occasions there and set up the attack. That's what England need.
Well, he certainly won his first 2 headers against Quinn in this second half. That ball by Platt is aimed for Sharp. And his first chance to settle on the ball here, the youngster. Taking on Irwin. And O'Leary came across. He's taken up a wide left position as befits the role he plays for his club, Lee Sharp. And he's forced a throw which is going to be taken for England by Stuart Pearce. The crowd get behind England at last. Oh, O'Leary missed it. Platt. Beardsley. And Moran was stretching a bit for the header. And it's Ireland's turn to look a little uncertain back there. Quinn got a header in. Walker played it back forward. Well, Jack Charlton, a World Cup winner here with England in 1966, now trying to plot their downfall again. What a strange tale it is. And up in the stand is brother Bobby. I think it's fair to say, for all the family connections, he's got daughter Suzanne there. I think Bobby will be supporting England, it's safe to say. England's record goal scorer, Bobby Charlton, and they could do with a goal now, wherever it comes from. Ireland have the free kick. There's Quinn. This is Kevin Sheedy against Mark Wright.
Again, the runner coming into the penalty box. Niall Quinn, in those situations, so good at knocking it down, and it was the man that occasion, Kevin Sheedy, who picked up the loose ball that Mark Wright covered.
Any latecomers, the score is 1-1 here at Wembley. An own goal by Staunton after 10 minutes put England in front. Niall Quinn equalised for the Republic of Ireland on 28 minutes. Now in the second half, it's England with Lee Dixon looking for Robson. Sheedy was the winner there. Aldridge and Quinn up front. Good combination play. Now it's Wright. McGrath. And down on the England bench, there'll be some earnest discussion going on, no doubt. They've made the switch now, and we'll see if it works. Graham Taylor, never a manager to be afraid to turn his system round at half-time. He did it in his club days quite a lot, I remember, when the game didn't go the way he intended. And that switch, I think most people seem to feel, was necessary. Reverting really now to a normal back four. Swiss referee just insisting that the throw is taken from the right place. It's Irwin for Ireland. Hooked on by McGrath. That's the early ball again. They've had some famous occasions, the Irish, over these last few years under Jack Charlton to look back on. European Championships and World Cup, and now the possibility, of course, of a European Championship again if they can get past England and Poland. Only one country qualifies from this group, by the way, which is why this match is so important. Forward by Robson. Houghton. Moran, the captain. Here's Quinn. His control has been so good. Irwin. And Sharp gets back to put a tackle in. And he can do that. He's played at left back and left side of the defensive line, Lee Sharp, so he's not averse to getting back in covering and getting the foot in there. Lineker. Moran. Well, 1-1 is such a popular score between these two countries, isn't it? 1-1 in the World Cup and in Dublin, and again tonight so far. Pearce is headed forward. Irwin. What you don't expect when these two countries meet is a classic football match. And I don't think you're going to get one here. It'll be interesting and exciting, and it'll have its moments of drama, as it's had already, but it won't be an exactly flowing game. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Here's Niall Quinn. Singing the cockles and mussels around the stadium, the Irish. And they're certainly winning the battle there, the supporters. They're out shouting England, there's no question about that. It's no contest. Forward by Walker. There goes David Platt on a long run behind Kevin Moran. The Irish lending a real flavour to the occasion here. And that's the position. And the England fans are now stirred to respond. Lineker's flick, but only as far as O'Leary. Here's Ray Houghton, Andy Townsend making a forward run from midfield. On the far side, Stephen Staunton joining the attack, and four in the middle for Ireland here. Quinn's trying to get on the end of it, and it came off Pearce for the corner. Well, Quinn did well there to make anything of it. It was a bit overhit, the cross by Staunton, I thought. So here comes David O'Leary and Kevin Moran to join the forwards in the area. Quinn's up there with Wright, and Barnes with a half clearance, no more than that. Robson heads on and then takes a bad blow. I think that was probably a collision with O'Leary, but it's Brian Robson for sure who's got either knocked out or certainly a bad bang in the face. Or was it Moran who he collided with? Probably Kevin Moran actually, but Robson certainly felt the impact. Yes, it looks like an elbow to me in the face by Moran. What did you make of that, Trevor?
I did make it was definitely an elbow. I mean, it was a clumsy tackle more than anything, as you can see. As he comes in, Brian Robson heads it away, and Kevin Moran elbow catching him. I can't see any cuts or anything, but I'm sure he'll shrug that off. No noticeable bump, but it was definitely an elbow.
Well, I would say so. And Moran rather fortunate not to get a yellow card, I would think, too. Here's Houghton. Oh, he's given that away, Beardsley, but Lineker was coming back, trying to stay onside. And Ireland are furious back there. They won't please Jack Charlton if they get themselves into difficulties in their own half, because it's not part of the pattern.
One of Ray Houghton's few mistakes is at a very good game in midfield, just tucking round from that right side that he starts off and just playing behind the front people, and he's picked up a lot of the loose ball. There he is, and set a number of their attacks on the break.
It's a free kick to England. Lineker, Beardsley and Barnes all pushed well onto their markers on the edge of the penalty area, expecting Pearce to deliver it long. Platt's backing them up here. There he is. But the Ireland defence is so well organised, very rarely lose their shape.
And those high balls into the Irish defence are not going to trouble the likes of David O'Leary, Kevin Moore and Peter Beardsley and Gary Lineker are not renowned at winning that type of ball. So England have to get the ball wide to Sharp and Barnes, who have seen very little of the ball so far in this second half.
Here's John Aldridge. Oh, and they got a man free there. And Kevin Sheedy was the player who had the shot, and I would think if he sees this again, as we're able to do, he might feel he should have done better. It was his right foot, normally better on his left, and Seaman would be relieved, I would think, to see that go past the post from Sheedy. It was a good opportunity for Ireland.
And as you say, but he's had two opportunities, they're both fallen to his right foot. One sat up a bit, that one was better to strike, and I'm sure if it had fallen on his left foot, we might have been looking at 1-2 by now.
Another warning for England then, and the Irish supporters in good voice here. They feel their team has still got the upper hand, but here's right for England. Quinn's flick on again. John Aldridge, Quinn. Oof, they nearly got Andy Townsend through from midfield there. Platt. Beardsley. Sharp. Pearce was coming forward at a rate of knots and the ball went behind him. He's rescued the possession anyway. Gets it back from Robson. Here's Sharp. Irwin coming in behind him. That was a foul, climbing by the right back. Now a free kick to England. Beardsley's come across. And Wright is on his way forward on the far side. Brian Robson joins the throng in the middle of the penalty area here. Flags up for offside, so it comes to nothing. Are you happy about the England pattern of play now, Trevor, or is there something that they should be doing out there to make more space for themselves and put Ireland under greater stress?
I think the game has been a bit scrappier in the second half. Purely England having that extra midfield man have denied Ireland some of the space that they had in that first 45 minutes, but I've been disappointed with still the passing of England, because you have to get it to the fullbacks, get it out wide and get the crosses, from those wide positions, whereas they're tending to sort of float hopeful balls in, and the Irish defence are picking that up.
Here's Pearce. 2 against 2 now. Beardsley and Lineker together. Oh, well played by Beardsley. Lineker tries to push it back inside for Brian Robson, and Sharp was there too. But initially, when that first ball was played by Beardsley, you thought Lineker might get his first real run on goal. Meantime, it's Des Walker across to meet John Aldridge. Free kick to England. Beardsley, another good touch. Robson. And now Lineker against Staunton, who came across fast from left back. Good piece of covering play, actually, by Staunton. The flag was up, but he didn't know that, and he came in to meet Gary Lineker. An offside was given. And again, the target is big Niall Quinn. Aldridge. Yes. Oh, and Robson's given it away to McGrath, who was a bit hurried because he held his head there, Paul McGrath, because he knew that a slightly better ball would have put either Quinn or Aldridge in a very threatening position. It was a let-off for Brian Robson, really. Lineker. It's developing into another one of those dour struggles between these two teams, which seem to be part of the course whenever they meet. Here's Lee Sharp, though. Shakes off Irwin well. Lineker's in the inside right position. Barnes is there too. And Sharp tried to go past David O'Leary on the outside and got blocked on the very edge of the area. It's going to be a free kick. Sharp here, people thought perhaps he might go to the right. He tried to go to the left. I don't think he was actually going to go anywhere with it, but out of it comes a free kick in quite a good position for England. No Gascoigne to curl them here tonight, but the players nearest the ball at the moment are Pearce and Platt. These obviously will have been rehearsed in training. Bonner just checking on his wall. There are two England players mingling with it. Barnes is in the action as well, and Jack Charlton has an anxious moment here. Are they going to play it back for Pearce to shoot? It caught the wall and flew over the crossbar from Stuart Pearce.
Wasn't the best of sides for a Stuart Pearce special or a John Barnes. They're both left-footers, and ideally you would want it on the other side of the penalty area. That was the sort of position where, as you say, Paul Gascoigne would have been ideal.
It's going to be a corner to England to be taken by Beardsley. Short to Pearce. Beardsley gets it back. And it comes off McGrath. So a corner again. Brian Robson is in the middle there with David Platt and Mark Wright, all three waiting to come in now. And that was Robson, in fact, half away by Staunton. Then Dixon, now Beardsley. Barnes nearly there, but well cleared by McGrath. Here's Sheedy. Promising little period for England came to nothing, so with 20 minutes gone in the second half, the score at Wembley remains England 1, Republic of Ireland 1 in this European Championship qualifier. If it stays like that, Poland will be probably the most pleased with the result, since they're in contention as well. Here's McGrath. If England and Ireland knock each other about like this and share the points, then the Poles could sneak in between them and qualify.
Paul McGrath there, I think, just recovering from the fact that he'd got through two Stuart Pearce tackles, which not many people do, and still be on your feet.
Well, Beardsley's not too happy about that. It looked to me as though it should have been an England throw, but anyway, it's been given to Ireland by the Swiss referee. Was right initially, and now it is an England throw. That's an ironic cheer from the home contingent of supporters. Platt. Right, it's a match of few scoring chances, that's for sure. I think Ireland had a couple that have fallen to Sheedy. Here's Platt trying to make one for Lineker. And that Sharp on the far side came in and eventually was penalised.
Well, coming to about halfway through the second half, I'd be thinking about perhaps Ian Wright, his pace, and giving him an opportunity. If you're going to bring us on your second substitute, you want to give him at least 20, 22 minutes. 2 or 3 of the England subs are warming up. But if there was one, I think the timing would be about right for the Palace striker. And there he goes, just loosening up. I'm sure eager as anyone to get onto that pitch.
Well, it's Lineker on the pitch at the moment. There's been a switch by England. Barnes has come back to the left wing, and Lee Sharp has gone to the right, which is where you saw him then. So England again do some fine-tuning to their system in an attempt to unhinge this solid-looking Ireland team.
Ireland themselves are not looking as dangerous as the first 45 minutes, but you can't, in all honesty, say that England, although they've had a bit more sort of possession. They're not creating that many chances, so you just feel you know, a new, fresh face in the striker's position might be or help that creative chance situation. Because at the moment, it's very much a stalemate.
Well, you certainly called the previous substitution spot on well before it happened, so we'll see if Graham Taylor heeds that and brings on Ian Wright. It's a free kick in the meantime to Ireland, taken by Staunton, and that's Wright doing well in the air in the second half against Quinn compared to the first half. Here's Irwin throwing it back in though. Walker this time gets up well. Here's Sharp with Sheedy. Now it's Staunton. Clever play by Sheedy. He fooled Dixon. He's looking for Aldridge. Walker's stretching a bit. Wright comes over. Townsend. Corner to Ireland.
The Ireland midfield again. First Sheedy, then Townsend, just surging forward and picking up those loose ends that they have all throughout the game.
Well, that's their style, and it's working for them again. It's going to be Ray Houghton to go across and take this corner. He's got O'Leary in the 6-yard box here. Quinn jumping well, but there was enough around him, enough white shirts around him to make sure it didn't extend David Seaman. And there are 20 minutes left in this European Championship match. The score is 1-1, and Ireland are still full of hustle and bustle, refusing to let England develop their normal pattern of play. Look at that as an example. Barnes has to come back to try and help, and it's all very, very scrappy. This is McGrath. Goodness gracious, you really wouldn't think it was international football at times, but that was finally away by Pearce. Ireland have also got a hand to play if they wish from the bench. That's Tony Cascarino, who could come on and make the aerial battle even more pronounced. Free kick to Ireland. It's Walker with Aldridge, and so Niall Quinn again will be an obvious target here. He's so willing. Mark Wright sticking close to him, but O'Leary this time prefers it to go via Staunton. It'll still... Oh, Dixon's been pushed over by Sheedy. There's some movement over on the bench, and it's the usual switch by Jack Charlton. We saw a lot of this in the World Cup, where Aldridge, having run himself into the ground, is the player they normally bring off. And it looks very much as though he'll be replaced by Cascarino here. It's not the most glamorous of roles for John Aldridge, but he goes about it in an uncomplaining sort of way. This is Barnes. Dixon. So off goes Aldridge. And Tony Cascarino, a player for whom Graham Taylor paid an awful lot of money when he was manager of Aston Villa, now comes on to haunt his old manager and link up maybe with Niall Quinn. Platt lifts it over. Lineker's shot. He hasn't had many opportunities tonight, and that one had to be taken very quickly. Do you think that substitution is going to change anything, or does it just mean more high balls, Trevor?
Well, I think it'd be more high balls, a bit like that one there. Gary Lineker trying to hit the shot on the turn, but Leary hustling him, and he couldn't get it on target. But no, Cascarino's outstanding in the air and more dangerous than John Aldridge, so I think Mark Wright, Des Walker will be expecting more of the same.
Ian Wright seems to be preparing. On by Irwin for Ireland. There's McGrath in there. Hooked forward by David Platt. Houghton gets a touch. And now Robson. It's like a bagatelle in there. Forward by McGrath. And there goes Houghton. Ireland actually had 5 in attack for a moment then, but Mark Wright, having a good second half, sorted it out. This is Lee Sharp. Well, that's what he had to do, really. They were pushing him further and further back. Words from Laurie McMenemy to the prospective substitute. O'Leary. Brian Robson won that well, but England are looking for almost the eye of a needle ball through to Lineker, and the Irish are just moving across and cutting off the channel. Kevin Moran, captain for the night, just keeping things secure back there. Well, is it going to be another 1-1 between these two nations, or is there yet a twist in this match? Des Walker. Houghton. Cascarino will chase across here, but Walker. Then Irwin flags up. Offside. Well, there are 15 minutes left here at Wembley, and it's going to be a chance for Ian Wright of Crystal Palace. He played, of course, against Cameroon last time out. And can he come on and provide the speed or the skill that could turn the match England's way? Lineker, Moran. Barnes. Staunton shadowing his Liverpool colleague. Oh, goodness me. And it's probably the moment to make the substitution, really. And the man going off is the top England goal scorer, Gary Lineker. 39 goals for England, but playing no further part in this match. Unless they put the wrong number up, and I don't think they did. No, he's off. And he's replaced by Ian Wright. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, an interesting switch. I can't remember last time Gary Lineker would have been taken off like that. It must be purely, as I say, tactical. Ian Wright is more of a dribbler, take people on. Gary Lineker thrives on service, on crosses and through balls, and he hasn't had many of those this evening, to be fair to him.
Here's Ray Houghton for Ireland. It's Paul McGrath. Oh, he's got Irwin round the back here, and the big men in the middle really disappointed with that cross from Dennis Irwin, because that was the classic position to try and put the ball on the head of Cascarino or Quinn. And he won't be pleased with that either.
He's usually such a good crosser of the ball, Dennis Irwin. There's Gary Lineker. Didn't have many chances on goal, and perhaps suffering a bit. You know, Spurs themselves not in the best of forms at present, and hasn't had many chances, as I say, this evening to get a bit closer to Bobby Charlton's record.
So the England attack now reads Barnes on the right wing, Beardsley and Ian Wright in the middle, and Sharp on the left wing. Staunton across. Here's Platt. John Barnes. Blocked by McGrath. Houghton. Townsend. McGrath again. Quinn wants it played forward early. Cascarino's with him. And the header from one to the other. This is Cascarino. Oh, and he's got past Mark Wright, and a stretch by Pearce saved England. There was a moment earlier in that where if Cascarino looked at the referee as though he felt Wright tried to pull him down. It was an anxious moment, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a foul, but the referee played the advantage. But just that stumble when Mark Wright tried to bring Cascarino down enabled Stuart Pearce to get back and make the tackle.
It's a corner to be taken by Sheedy. O'Leary at the near post. That was dangerous too. And England have got some defending to do here, because Cascarino and Quinn are waiting to come in from deeper positions. Moran's up there as well. And John Barnes is the player who meets Sheedy's cross. So England have used both their permitted substitutes here. And Graham Taylor has to hope that the men out there now can find a way through. Here's McGrath. But as has happened before in these matches, Ireland still seem to have the territorial advantage deep into the second half. They've certainly regained it anyway. This is Staunton. Over the head of Quinn. Platt for England. Given away. Moran. Back in again towards Quinn. Wright meets him well. Townsend. McGrath. Oh, and Ray Houghton in a good position. And Ireland players all over the pitch, and Jack Charlton on the bench, hold their heads in disbelief. Because Ray Houghton, who scored the goal that beat England when this series started in Stuttgart, was in the clear and through. He was away from the defence, and his right foot, he steered it wide of the post. What an opportunity, and what a let-off for England.
Great knockdown by Cascarino. Again, a clip through by Paul McGrath. He and Townsend have been superb in the central midfield, winning everything. And Ray Houghton running through Graham Taylor. No, he was very close. It just ended up in the middle of him. He wasn't sure whether to hit with the inside of the foot or the outside. Chose the inside and just skewed it wide. But that was probably the best opportunity of the match so far.
Just under 10 minutes to go, and England escape. Now, can they bounce off that and do something at the other end? Good ball from Pearce to Beardsley. Barnes and Ian Wright waiting in the centre. Barnes. He got away from Staunton there and made a shooting position for himself. And he's not too pleased with his own finish.
I can remember him scoring a goal here at Wembley on the half volley, just about on that edge of the area. It flew in the net, so on that occasion he got underneath it and never threatened the Pat Bonner's goal.
I think it was against Uruguay that, as you say, he hooked one in superbly from there. And what would England give to get another one on target now? There's only 9 minutes left, and Irishmen all around Wembley are beginning to think again about a 1-1 draw. But if Ray Houghton had put that ball in the net at the other end, they'd have been thinking about a 2-1 win. Pearce will take the free kick for England. Short, Robson. And again Robson, but neither pass was good enough really by the captain. Cascarino to Quinn. It was Dixon who stepped in. Well, they're booing the pass back, but perhaps that was what Jimmy Hill was saying at half-time. At least you can start again then and hook the ball forward, which Seaman has done, and it's headed out by Moran. Quinn turns. Townsend. Offside flag. Well, it's developed into the sort of grueling, predictable battle that we've seen before between England and the Republic. Barnes heads on. Beardsley looking for Platt. McGrath. He's had some match, and that's one of the reasons why we haven't seen David Platt or Brian Robson make the impact in midfield that you might have expected. Barnes from Beardsley. Pearce. Sharp. Pearce again. And it was Robson who just got his foot in there. And it comes off the head of young Lee Sharp. So, England 1, Republic of Ireland 1, a familiar score. And the 80,000 Wembley crowd lifting their voices, but perhaps starting to think now that they're on for another draw between these two nations. But here's Sharp for England. Play on, says the referee. No free kick. So England pressing forward. This is Pearce. Moran gets in the way. It was well driven by Pearce, but the Ireland captain there, Beardsley. And all England supporters will be hoping that they can just get a break here. Wright's on his way forward. That's Mark Wright I'm talking about. Ian Wright already in there. Barnes on the far side. Platt backing up as Pearce takes the kick. Mark Wright. And it was Sheedy for Ireland. Five minutes to go at Wembley. 1-1. Beardsley. Well, with this group being so tight, anything that happens now could have an influence on who ultimately goes to Sweden. It's crossed in again, and Platt's in there, and Bonner came a long way. And Ireland again covering quickly. This is Staunton now. He got caught actually there by quite a late challenge from Dixon. So it's a free kick to the Republic of Ireland. Quinn and Cascarino up there waiting. Robson. Staunton forward. Cascarino sees his chance to latch onto a loose ball, but I think the referee's let it go. He had his arm up as if to say, acknowledging the foul, but letting play go on. Swiss referee, and Ireland have again pushed the play right back down to the England corner flag. Well, in the middle of that was Tony Cascarino, but it was about 3 against 1 there, I think. Here comes Kevin Moran, typically courageous. Cascarino in there again. Driven forward by O'Leary. This is Quinn. What a good turn by Niall Quinn. Didn't quite connect with the shot, but he certainly has improved enormously his all-round game. Irwin. This is Houghton now for Ireland. McGrath's on the right wing. It's a bit tight that way. Townsend. He's got Sheedy square. It's a header out by Dixon, only as far as Staunton, and that's going right to the end of the stadium. Well, what do you make of it, Trevor?
Well, I think you have to say England, more than anyone, will be greatly relieved if this scoreline stays as one apiece. They haven't played well. Looking through the England side, I can't see anyone that will walk off the field happy with their performance. And really seasoned professionals like Brian Robson, Stuart Pearce have been, shadows of how we know that they can play. And it'll be the Republic of Ireland in the dressing room, although they'll be pleased with the draw, be disappointed not to have got the win.
But here's Platt to Barnes. Platt again. There's still time for something to happen, and Steve Staunton for Ireland may make it happen at the other end, but the ball's going out. Beardsley, Back to Dixon. Here's Barnes, looking for Ian Wright. Houghton for Ireland. Quinn slightly lost his balance there, but how well he regained it. Houghton again, he wants somebody to his right, and there wasn't anybody really. Irwin was slow coming up. Houghton did well to go the other way. And then Irwin did suddenly come forward, and Lee Sharp had to shut him off. And Ireland get a corner, and what a nuisance they're proving again. A roar reverberates around Wembley as the Irish fans sense the possibility of a dramatic winning goal. Quinn and Cascarino here, obvious targets. McGrath to come in behind them. Sheedy to take the corner. Townsend's in the box as well. Ooh, and Seaman between the two. Houghton drove it. And it's on by Ian Wright. And Sharp with Staunton. And Sharp's away. Ian Wright's in the centre. He took it, tried to cross it early, and it hit O'Leary, I think. And Lee Sharp was a bit over-anxious perhaps there.
Just had time to wait for Ian Wright to join him. He just rode the tackle from Steve Staunton and could have just composed himself, had a look to see who was joining, but he tried to whip it in too early.
It's all over, and Ireland and Jack Charlton have thwarted England's hopes again. Another 1-1 draw. How do you beat this man's team? England haven't found the answer. Not tonight. They went ahead inside 10 minutes. But the Republic of Ireland supporters see another solid, determined, resilient performance from their team. Not short of attacks, one of which ended in Quinn putting the equaliser past David Seaman. And then Ireland nagged away, as they continue to do. And England find them something like an itch that you just can't scratch. It just keeps coming back all the time. And even though they brought on their substitutes, England couldn't find a way through again. Bonner and Sheedy, for these players, it's a performance which the crowd around Wembley, the Irish supporters, are greeting as though it was a victory. They see it as a moral win, really. Everybody said, give England the right playing conditions and they'll put Ireland away. Well, they were absolutely wrong, because this team and this man have got a method that, as Terry Venables said, has tested and almost stretched the best teams in the world. Nobody seems to be able to find the key to it or how to beat it, so you have to give them credit. And the group will look just as tight as it did before now, because the points have been shared, and the final score at Wembley in this European Championship qualifier, as the Irish celebrate, is England 1, Republic of Ireland 1.